All right. So next poem I have Charles Bukowski. I think the name of the poem is called Your Life is Your Life. Bukowski. Your life is your life. Yep. All right. So again, the name of this poem is called Your Life is Your Life by Charles. No, actually it's called The Laughing Heart. Yeah, that's what it's called. So the name of the name of the poem is called The Laughing Heart by Charles Bukowski. All right. Your life is your life. Don't let it be clubbed into dank submission. Be on the watch. There are ways out. There is light somewhere. It may not be much light, but it beats the darkness. Be on the watch. The gods will offer you chances. Know them. Take them. You can't beat death, but you can beat death in life. Sometimes. And the more often you learn to do it, the more light there will be. Your life is your life. Know it while you have it. You are marvelous. The gods wait to delight in you. This poem here, again, would have to be probably by far one of my favorite top poems ever. Um, I think it sheds light. The words sheds light on hopefulness. It shed lights on the burning desire to fight for what it is that you define as life in terms of living, so whether that's, having a life as an artist, you want to be an artist, but everyone's in some sense telling you that that's not going to provide a living. That isn't life. The poem sheds light on beating death in life. We can't beat death, right? But it says, but you can beat death in life. So you can't beat death in the sense that ultimately we all will die, but at the same time, you can beat death in life by not participating in things that will, in a sense, make you feel like you're dying while living, but instead embarking in or trying things or immersing yourself in things that, in some sense, make your life that much more fulfilled, whether that's poetry or anything else. So, I really think it's just a matter of him, and then he hearkens to the a higher power. He talks about the gods wait to delight in you. This aspect of you being created for a better purpose, a bigger purpose than what we kind of talked about earlier, Isaac, which was the basic 9 to 5, eat, sleep, die type of lifestyle where you're just on repeat. You're a robot at some point.
Yep.
Charles Bukowski in this poem, to me, he just describes a matter in which it's like you can't beat death, but you can beat death in life sometimes, you know? And he talks about, your life is your life. Know it while you have it. It's a sense in which it's like, enjoy this while you have it. Enjoy this while you're here. The second line is, don't let it be clubbed into dank submission. So going back even, Isaac, to what you were describing about your parents and having this dank submission of you will do this, you will, and he talks about not letting it be clubbed into that, but fighting it, be on the watch. There are ways out. And, as me and you discussed before we started the recording, you took a leap that seemed to provide a way out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not sure how people will take it when I say it, but I think when he says that, it's kind of like the the saying that we garnered from, I don't know who rapped it, and I don't listen to them,
Mm-hmm.
but they had the term yellow. You only live once.
Yeah.
I mean, you have the life to live. You shouldn't live it in just going through the motions.
Yeah.
You can either die uh, a nobody, or you can
Yeah.
die a somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You have people that pursue their dreams and will live in infamy. Will
Mm-hmm.
live forever, long after they're gone. We
Exactly.
still talk about Edgar Allan Poe.
Mm-hmm.
200, 300 years, maybe 500 years. I don't even know. I don't. I don't remember. But it's been plenty of generations
Mm-hmm.
since he's passed, and
Yeah.
we still talk about his work.
Yeah.
We still talk about how masterful it is. We even talk about like current day. You got Tupac. That's gonna be forever,
Yeah.
forever living through the music he's created. Same with Biggie. When Eminem passes, he's gonna have the
Mm-hmm.
same. Dr. Dre. You can't escape death, but you can forever solidify your life
Mm-hmm.
in the world.
Yeah. Exactly. By living a meaningful one. By, not letting it be clubbed into dank submission. You will do this. You will go to school. You will do your homework. You will do this. You will do this. You will wake up. You will repeat. You will, it's just this. So many people die like that, Isaac. So many people die with such dank submission, with a life of just on repeat, man. It's to be honest with you, that's one of my biggest fears, to die like that.
So many people die long before they pass away.
Oh man. Exactly. That's good. That's good. That's good. That is a great saying right there, man. Like, so many people die before they actually die. They're dead way before they're actually dead, man. Like, oh my goodness, that's good. You know, and again, it harkens back to Charles Bukowski words in the first poem I read, which was, um, he in a sense questioned, like, I don't know why they're still alive. I don't know why they're still living. It's kind of what he was questioning. He's like, I don't know why the kids don't kill them, or the dogs don't kill them, or the sky or the clouds don't kill. In a sense, he's saying like all these natural things that are very joyful. Kids are very joyful. They're very imaginary. Parents in a sense can't relate to them because kids kids are kind of still in that early process stage where you're discovering everything. You're curious. Adults are more in the nah. We're set ways. You do this. You do that. You die. And he's kind of like questioning in the end of the poem, like, I don't understand how these people still exist. you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the easiest explanation you could do is history repeats itself.
Yep.
There's so many people that just think that growing up, going to school, getting a degree, and then going to work, and killing their own social life, killing
Mm,
their own dreams and aspirations. They get stuck working. They think that working overtime. There's plenty of people. My father, for example, um, I guess this is probably a bad example, but
mm.
he he wakes up, he goes to his office, and he's on the computer 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. Granted, he probably plays a lot of card games and watches TV, but he goes in there and he says that he told me that working 40 hours a week is a hobby. Does that make sense? Like, okay, sure. I guess working a job that I hate is for 40 hours is a hobby. Okay. I don't remember wanting to do things I hate as a hobby. That's
Exactly.
but he told me that I need to work at least 80 hours a week. I'm like, bro,
Wow.
if I'm working 80 hours a week, it's definitely not going to be something I despise and I hate, and something that I've
Yeah.
forced to do because of my circumstances. He tried to tell me that I should have had a wife and kids by the time I was 26. I'm like, bro, I don't even want to take care of myself at this age. What makes you think I'm
Right.
going to take care of a wife and kids?
Exactly.
I did that when I was your age. Can't believe you're not there. I'm like, yeah, well, the problem is that I'm not you.
Exactly.
So regardless of what you've done to me, it doesn't mean that my life just mirrors yours. But
Exactly.
that also goes back to he doesn't think I'm my own person. He just thinks I'm an extension of himself.
Yeah.
There's just so many people that are okay with doing what they were told, and don't get me wrong, the people, the friends that I have that do that, they're kind and they're sweet and they're generous and they've helped me multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
But just I just can't get on board with doing something that I need to do. I want to do
Yeah.
something that provides me with a sense of satisfaction and financial stability, and I just can't do that with a 9 to 5 job,
Yeah.
and especially since you mentioned, I don't know if we were recording at the time or
Mm-hmm.
if you were recording at the time, but you mentioned that we probably were. It was when I read my first poem. You
Mm-hmm.
said that you know that I used to allow people to step on me, but you see that I don't allow that anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But working at like those 9 to 5 jobs, people went out of their way to target me on
Yeah.
on on certain things and try to alienate me and whatnot. So
Yep.
it's and I think it's because the more they do that, the more comfortable I am in my own skin,
Yep.
and the more they hate that.
Yep. Yeah.
So because they're not comfortable in their own skin, and if they're not, then
Exactly.
nobody else can be, right?
Exactly.
But I can't go to that regular job because if I can't be myself after it
Mm-hmm.
being for two plus decades,
Mm-hmm.
then I'm not going to do it. Even if it
Yep.
costs me my life, it's better to try to succeed and do the things I want to do at the cost of my life than to conform and deal with people that don't want me just because I want to be happy with my own mind and my own body.
Mm.
So it's like what Tupac said. I don't know how the phrasing worked, and I don't remember what song it was, but he
Mm-hmm.
essentially said, real men uh, get themselves on a hill and they die on that hill.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
You need to stand up for what you believe in,
Exactly.
and even if it kills you, you know
Yep.
the people that know you will know that you were an actual man that valued himself and stuck to what he believed in, even if it cost him his own life.
Exactly. 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 Man, that's good. That's real good. That what you're saying is good. What you're saying is good. What you're saying is good, man. This is like it's refreshing to hear this from you, Isaac. To hear that someone else thinks like me, that someone else has the same passion and fire as me, that someone else is willing to say no. Everyone's saying yes. Everyone just says yes. Everyone's afraid to disagree. Everyone's afraid to swim against the current. Everyone's afraid to step outside, you know, their comfort zone. Everyone's afraid to be uncomfortable. But with you, I don't see that at all. And not just in your words. I know what you've done, your actions. And it's inspiring because I realize and I know that though I have stepped out in many ways of my comfort zone, there's other ways that I need to be challenged. There's other ways I will be challenged. So to see you kind of running and already holding up that banner is very inspirational, man. Very inspirational. Very. Um, Man, you could definitely go with your poem again, man, and then I'll share my last one as well. But I'm itching to hear what you have next.
I wanted to also say that it's like I don't know if you get the reference, but a lot of people like to be the a persona of Jim Carrey,
Mm,
not actually Jim Carrey, but one of his movie roles.
yeah.
I think you know what I'm talking about, right?
Are you talking about the one where he was being filmed?
No, I'm talking about. I think it was 2006 where he couldn't say no.
Yeah, yep. I remember. Yep, yep.
Yes, man. Yes, man.
Yes, man. Exactly. Exactly.
That's what everybody is nowadays. Yep.
Yep. Yep. Everybody, man. Everyone's afraid to disagree. You don't want to step on anyone's toes. Everyone has thin skin. No one has thick skin anymore. And if you do have thick skin, or if you do disagree, then you're bad. You're a bad person. You need to be eradicated. You need to be ostracized. You need to be um you need to be dealt with. You need to be dealt with. You need to be um killed, in some sense, persecuted. Yeah, yeah. And you find that, like you said, in the workplace, you find that very heavily. I went through the same stuff. I know exactly what you mean, man. And you find you, but the thing is, you also find yourself not wanting to fit in, and you find yourself not fitting in.
Yep. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do. I thought DoorDash was a good option because all I have is me and the car I drive and customer service when I need them. But outside of that, I pretty much work on my own, and I absolutely enjoy it because I can listen to the music I want. I
Mm-hmm.
can I can think of my own thoughts. I can talk to myself. I can be myself. And I
Mm-hmm.
know that I need interaction with other people too, but being able to sort through my thoughts
Yeah.
and be happy with it without being interrupted every chance I start to feel like I can focus on my own thoughts and focus on myself. Somebody
Mm-hmm.
always would have to interrupt.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I don't have that anymore, I can just do my job. And the more you drive, the less you actually. Maybe it's bad, but the more you drive, the more you're used to it, and the more you can do other things.
Mm-hmm.
When you first start driving, it's you have to focus on the road, and you're absolutely terrified.
Mm-hmm.
But after you're driving for 4, 5, 6, 10 years, you're like, well, I know I need to do all this, but I can do that almost. I don't have to give 100% of my attention to that
Mm-hmm.
because I trust my instincts and I trust my capabilities.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
But I
Exactly.
also I also don't have to deal with other people 99
Yeah.
percent of the time. So that's good too.
Yeah. That's good too. And you can deal with people when you want to deal with people. It's like,
Exactly.
if you want to do that, you want to, do this, that, because you do interact with people even when you dash. It's a lot of interaction. Um, but it gives you the control over that interaction. You
Yep.
know, hmm You can say no to this or yes to this or yes to that. And again, I think just like you, I like to be in control. I don't like to relinquish my control to someone else and then have to bend to that control to them dictating over my control or over what I can and can't do. Because to me, that's scary. Yeah, to me, it's scary. I don't, it's again, other than like my faith and seeing that and things of that nature, but outside of that, to me, especially in another human's hands to give them a certain level of control, especially over my financial stability. That's scary, man.
Agreed. And even when you do interact with customers, I don't know how often they have you hand them the orders, but for me, whenever I dash, it's probably about 75 to 80% leave at door.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I only interact with people about 20% of the time, and even then, it's not even draining because you go, oh hey, how are you? How's your night?
Exactly.
Here's your food, thank you. And then if you're like delivering alcohol, you go, I need your ID. Take
Yep.
the picture of the ID, hand them the items, give them their ID back, and then you're on your way to the next order. It's
Exactly.
you don't have enough time to have them evaluate you and decide what they think you deserve, or the other way
Exactly.
around. It's just niceties, small talks, and then you move on. You don't have to really be stuck on one person and
Mm-mm.
one person ruining your day.
Mm-mm. You don't, man. It's man, you got. I have so many topics I want to talk about now because you just. The more we talk, the more I'm like, I got to talk about this in my entrepreneurship group. I have to talk about this in another. I have to make a clip on this. I have to make another snip. Like, bro, I enjoy talking to you, man. Like seriously. Um, because you really allow you don't hold back. You don't hold back in what you say. You don't hold back in your transparency, and I respect that. You know, it's hard to respect someone that only bends to other people that are yes men. It's hard to respect someone like that because they'll turn on pretty much those type of people will turn on you in an instant.
Yep. And they have plenty of ways to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can probably talk about this with mental health, or I think even like the fitness stuff, you need to have a strong mentality in
Yep.
order to have a strong physicality.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, with people that just hate you for wanting to be yourself,
Yep.
they do triangulation. They try to, I forgot. I use the word defamation, but it's not that word. It's like I guess an example would be like backhanded compliments.
Like flattering.
Like I don't know how to do an example. If you look up the 7 steps to trauma bond, it's the second.
Mm.
It's the second step, because the first step is love bombing. The second step is like uh, small interjections of negativity,
Seven
and then
steps
just
to trouble bonding.
trauma. Yeah, trauma, trauma.
Trauma. Okay.
And they also do like smear campaigns and triangulation. They tried to destroy your reputation with everybody else, and
Mm.
because a lot of people just believe what other people say, they'll take their word for it.
Wow.
Especially because a lot of the people that do smear campaigns pretend to be kind to you to your face,
Yep.
and then talk behind your back.
Yep.
Two Face.
Yeah. Two Face. Yep.
But
Yeah.
when I was working, yeah, when I was working at a Buffalo Wild Wings,
Mm.
there was plenty of people that complimented me on my work ethic. There's plenty of people that complimented me on how kind I was, and
Mm-hmm.
how I was willing to make adjustments to whatever food I was making or whatever I was doing,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd help out as much as I could, and I try to talk. The people I didn't even know would come up to me and go, "I'm glad you're here. You're one of the few people that actually work when you come in."
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know who you are, but I
Yeah.
thank you. I mean, it wasn't like they talked to me to get to know me a little bit. It's just one day they go, "I'm glad you're here. You have a good work ethic."
Mm-hmm.
Do I know
Yeah.
you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, I appreciate that compliment, but it's like, bam, and then by the time I was heading out, I went from 42 hours a week to 15, barely.
Wow.
So it just it's the smear campaigns and the triangulation, and the the terminology of flying monkeys, which is basically the narcs minions.
Yeah.
It destroys you, and people try to push you to the edge, and people try to get you to lash out to make
Yep.
you look the crazy one.
Yep.
And once they did that, once they got me to that point, which took over a year, by the way.
Mm.
Once at that point, I was I was young and screaming, telling people to shut the f up, and I did not hold my words back at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the last week or two I was there, people treated me much differently.
Mm.
People believed what other people had said, but I was silent. I was always helpful. I was always wanting to stay a little bit longer to do more work and make more money. But that's because I was still kind of trying to get myself out of that situation, but still
Yeah.
being in that situation. So I needed to make more money, work more hours, show my capabilities, but it just didn't end up working, and I left.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good, man. That's good. And you left. Like I said, sometimes you can be in those situations plotting too. A lot of times I plot. I'm in situations, or I find myself in situations that I don't want to be in because I'm plotting, waiting for the right time to make a move. And then when I make that move, You know, it's such a smooth, like patience is such a beautiful thing too, because sometimes you have to go through these things. You'll go through certain things. You'll go through being, let's say, in some sense, trampled on or stomped on or being taken advantage of, when in reality they may think that's what's happening, but you're just being patient because you know that something else is about to happen, or you're about to quit, or you're about to do this, or you're about to make this move. And then once you make it, the joy and the peace that comes out of that because of your patience is beautiful. It's beautiful, you know,
Yeah.
at that right time. And then sometimes, you know, it's doing it immediately. It's doing it with a sense of boldness. It's doing it with a sense of risk, high risk. But then also you have great reward, great relief, great um lack of a sense of burden. You know, it's beautiful when you take that initiative and you actually you hold yourself accountable. You know, you take accountability for your life and go, no one can make me do anything. You
Yep.
know. Mm-hmm.
I also think going back to what we said before, in order to be yourself, you have to um, again when I let people just walk over me and just try to comply to them to make them happy.
Mm-hmm.
In order for me to love myself and be a better version of myself, I had to be the exact opposite, and I couldn't. I, I knew that I could not half-ass that prospect. I
Yeah.
needed to be uh, what was the word you used for me? Uh,
Um, thick skin or
no, man, I think this is one of the problems with being a writer is I get writer's block when I leave.
yeah. No, you
But
good, man.
what was it? It was
I say I think it was transparent.
maybe it was transparent. Yeah, like with how honest and open I am, and uh, I knew that if I wasn't if I didn't fully commit to being open and honest about
Mm-hmm.
what I'm talking about and what I'm going through, that
Mm-hmm.
it would come off as fake and not genuine. And in order for me to fully accept myself,
Mm-hmm.
to be me,
Yep.
and if my label in my family uh, my family hierarchy, I was
Mm-hmm.
considered the well, I guess you consider it a black sheep, but I was what psychology says as a truth teller.
Mm-hmm.
So when you ask me a question, I answer it to how I think I see the truth as,
Mm-hmm.
and I try to be, even if it's questions I may be a little bit uncomfortable answering or whatnot. I feel as though transparency and truth is the best way to answer the question, because
Mm-hmm.
otherwise, you know, how else are people going to learn? I want to do this too, so that way other people can learn it faster than I did, because I had to learn it on my own
Mm-hmm.
under all that pressure. And I don't want other people to have to go through that, because then they could end up in the same position I'm in
Yep.
or worse. And I don't
Yep.
want that to happen, because I have a lot of empathy for other people, but
Exactly.
I want to make sure that you don't have you still have to fight for what you want in life.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to fight quite as hard as I have had to fight.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, man. I love it, bro. I love it. Um, yeah, man. And again, not to teeter too long on the conversation,
Yeah,
around the aspect of, um, what we're talking about, but I think it just still is a manner in which I admire about you. I admire that about you, the transparency, the aspect of you being able to take what you've been through and then showcase it and share it through poetry, through your words, through what it is you say, through the experiences, through the stories you share. Um, don't stop. I encourage you with that, man. Completely do not stop. But yeah, man. Hey, you gotta give us another poem, man. At least one more.
yep, I got you.
All right, let's
I
do it.
Okay. This was made in December of 2019.
Nice.
and it's called Repeat.
Mm.
I'm trying to put you in a place where I can read my words without blocking everything. Okay, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
I felt down and defeated, wronged and mistreated, doomed to make a meager life. Never wanted to gripe. I knew I couldn't do it while gripping a knife. Bing! 99.9% chance to end it in stride. At least I gave a quarter of a try. Eminem was right. Had to unlearn everything. Guts over fear. Before 50 Cent, I need to try. I sit up all night, just want to cry. No wallowing, I just sit up. Funerals, darkness, all I am is dry.
Mm.
EF to the dress. All I want to do is find where I truly belong. I want to impress, make time fly by, yet feel the same. Know that we go nowhere fast, feel like a kid again.